Mother, tell your children not to walk my way. Tell your children.
Hello all, and welcome to this video, which, as I'm sure most of you read, will be a review of Unforgiven, pay-per-view that was tonight. Though this might end up being a little bit of a rant as well. And all I'm going to say, well, I'll say it, but something that I said a couple months ago pretty much came true, boys and girls. Pretty much came true. So, but we'll get to that. But anyways, we opened the pay-per-view with CM Punk versus Elijah Burke, and they basically had the same match they've had before, about 2.5 stars in my opinion. Nothing to write home about. Same match they've had on ECW, same match they had on pay-per-views this spring, early summer. Was okay. Didn't mind seeing it. Was a good opener in my opinion. Was kind of upset that Punk won with the roll-up, and I'm going to sit here and I'm going to start the conspiracy theories right now. I think Punk won with the roll-up because the fact that when he came out, he got one of the biggest pops of the night. Maybe the biggest pop of the night, to be completely honest. And I think that they know that he's going to go out there and he's going to try to do everything he can to get himself over with the crowd so that when Morrissey comes back, he's going to be able to keep as the champion. Which I don't blame Punk for doing at all. That's what I would do if I was in his place. I'd go out there, bust my butt, try to get over with the fans even more, and try to make myself into a superstar. And a guy that literally can work his way up the ranks of the roster. I don't think he's up to that point yet. I would definitely say he's probably still, he might be in the upper mid-card right now. He's definitely not one of the top guys. That's why I don't gripe about him as much as I do Joe, who I think is the top guy in TNA. And that's why I gripe about Joe the way I do. But anyways, so I do think that there was a reason for that, and that's why. But we'll get into that here in a minute. Then we had the WWE Tag Team title match, Matt Hardy, MVP versus Deuce and Domino. I like this. I like this a lot. I thought this was, well, not a lot, but I did think this was a fun match. I thought it told a pretty good story, but it was nothing that you probably wouldn't have seen on SmackDown, so it was just kind of there in my opinion. And I give this, again, a 2.5 stars. It was enjoyable because they did do a pretty good job of telling the story of Matt and MVP working together, which I thought was fun and kind of neat. And watching them trying to outdo each other was pretty fun. And TNA, that's how you book a match when you have two guys tagging that don't like each other. Just so you know. Then, surprisingly, we got the no DQ for Carlito versus Triple H. And now we're going to rant a bit, boys and girls. First of all, why did Carlito need a no DQ for himself to show that he was even with Triple H? That right there automatically tells the fans that, well, Carlito isn't on par with Triple H. Secondly, pretty much this was just a burial by Triple H. I was not going to gripe about this match until it actually happened. That's what happened. The WWE is in the position they are in now with John Cena having the belt as long as he is, as I've said, because they don't have enough main event talent. You now have a bunch of guys who are hurt, guys that are suspended. You don't have enough guys to bring up from the upper mid-card because you haven't made enough of those guys. Here was a chance for Triple H to... Triple H could have won and still put Carlito over as a viable threat to himself. He didn't even do that. That's a problem. And this is the continuing thing that Triple H is continuing did. For all you people that stood there and said, oh, I didn't know what I was talking about when I did my Cena vids, there's your proof. Right there. You guys all love Carlito. I want to hear you guys griping about this because that's exactly what happened in this match. He went out there, he basically buried him. Carlito doesn't look like he's on the same page with Triple H, and so then eventually when Triple H does take on Cena, which is what I think is going to happen, and he saves us all from Cena, and you all go, oh, and he gets the big huge pop and go, look, I'm now the biggest guy over in the WWE. Well, you got nobody to blame but yourselves, just so you know. Then we had the women's match, Candice Michelle versus Beth Phoenix. This was one of the best women's matches they've had in quite a while. I really like this. I give this 2 3/4 stars. Told a good story. May have gone a little long, but it told a really good story. Beth Phoenix is the real deal in my opinion. I didn't like the ending, but I could see it coming, so it wasn't that big of a surprise. The Great Khali versus Batista versus Rey Mysterio. I was pleasantly surprised by this match. I thought this match was going to be a snoozer, but this actually wound up being pretty good. Though after Batista won the title, which I did not like myself, then backstage you had Triple H basically going out and saying, well, you won the title, but I'm still the man. Again, folks, you seeing a pattern here? Or are you seeing it? Okay, he hasn't even been back a month yet, and we're already getting this crap. Alright? Then we had, Cade Murdoch versus Paul London, Brian Kendrick. Maybe the match of the night. Still, as again, nothing on this card was probably above 3 stars. This was probably, again, 2 3/4. This was a fun little match. I liked this. I thought they did a pretty good job. The ending kind of came out of nowhere, so that kind of hurt it. Then we had John Cena versus Randy Orton, basically a Raw match, 2 stars. Randy Orton won by DQ. This was stupid. I don't understand why they did this. Just finish this feud already. It's kind of moronic. Then we had Mark Henry versus The Undertaker. Undertaker went over as you would expect. I kind of liked this. I thought this was a good big man match. Again, 2 stars. Nothing under here was under 2 stars, but everything was just, nothing was above 3 stars. So I can't really recommend this. It was fun though. There was fun and it was kind of entertaining. So I guess I don't think it's worth a 6, but I don't think it's worth a 5.5 either. So it's probably somewhere in between. It's probably like a 5.7 or 5.8, somewhere around there. This was, like I said, it was fun, but none of the matches were very good. Definitely not worth $40. Definitely not worth the $20 when it comes out. This is kind of a short review, but I'm kind of irked at this because, again, folks, are you seeing the thing here? And the Undertaker versus Mark Henry match. Compare that to the Carlito match. Undertaker made Mark Henry look like, well, maybe there was the shadow of a doubt that Mark Henry could beat Undertaker. Just a shadow. He made him look like he belonged in the ring with Undertaker. Something Carlito was not made to look like when he took on Triple H. Folks, there you go. Will you stop with this Triple H is not that bad BS? Because that's exactly what it is. He hasn't been back a month, and we're already starting to see this crap that he pulls every time that he is back and wrestling. This is just stupid, moronic. I'm done. Have a good one. I'm out. Like I said, I'll go 5.8. There we go.